there are only 48 people there, and then we split them in groups, and we have 10 or 15 each group, and we don't need much. Today I'm going to present two subjects, one about the ancient Macedonian dialect, which is part of the Northwest Doric dialect, which was a group actually of Doric dialect, and these are mostly grammatically than lexically. In 1986, as they were trying to make a parking lot in the second capital of Macedonia, Templar, they came across some graves, and they found out that in one grave was a lead sheet, rolled actually, around the area of just above the leg, probably was the hand of that person. And when they opened it carefully, they found out that they had nobody else had seen before. It was not fair, I would say, a spell of as later on we found out, a young woman probably, who was asking the demons to help her split the marriage and the marriage of a certain man with a certain woman. This is the actual size of this, of Catholicism. It's about a foot for me. I can put it like this for the people there. It's about 30 centimeters more or less. Okay? And it's pretty good in quality, grammatical speaking, syntactically. And presents some differences from other dialects of Greek. Although people, whenever they talk about ancient Greek, they say that, well, they had only 4 dialects, maybe you need a common. There were 3 and there were 5 dialects. In reality, they have 204 dialects, sub-dialects, all kinds of things. And what we saw this is a difference that the Catholicism had in the way it was written in the alphabet. The Macedonians had abolished the Corinthian alphabet. We had 2 types of alphabets in the ancient Greek world: the Eastern alphabet and the Western. They were groups. And only one alphabet, the Eastern alphabet of Miletus, which is today in Turkey, was the one that had all the letters that represented the Greek sounds. And it probably changed that from the Corinthian to Ionic of Miletus around 470 to 475 BC. We don't really know for sure, but we have a coin that was identified with that age, 475 to 470 BC. And because of the letters existing on the coin, we know that at that time, Macedonia had already adopted the alphabet of the Ionian group. The Athens itself changed the alphabet in about 403, 402 BC. And I'll show you how they were writing before. For those who speak Greek or the Greek, you will see the differences in the estimate. I follow them. And this Ionic of Miletus is the actual modern Greek alphabet today. This is a small group of alphabets we have. I hope you don't, can you see them from there? Or I can look at the hands of them. I know what to do. This is the Corinthian alphabet that they had before. And finally, they got this. And he has all kinds of letters that they will need in order to write. There is one thing that the letter lying, which is this one here, and developed later onto zeta, as you can see, it was one of the remnants of the old alphabets. So the Phoenician alphabet is called, actually. And that is what is the characteristic of this algorithm, this spell. This is an Athenian, an Atticus dialect. I didn't put the whole thing, it's just the top. So you see, this is the number. So if you want to look for, to find it actually, find this inscription, this is the number you're looking for. ID 13117. And you can find the internet, by the way. Listen here. There's no C anywhere. Okay? Here, there's no eta. This should be eta and under the reason iota, which is actually, we call it in Greek, ipodiagrammetic, because you underline. By the way, I can write the same way. I don't write the old, the new way. I still know the old. And here, there's no U anywhere. It's supposed to be U. Εδώ ξεντριβουλή. Εντάξει, είναι ο υπογραμμένη. Και το δίνω, there's no meta here. And this, there's no eta. This is Athenian. The date of this is 408, sorry, 407 BC, and it says it was written by what's here, the left. And the end, well, if you read Greek, you know what it is. And he was the leader. And he was essentially Archelos, the king of Macedonia at that time. He is the one who changed his capital from Athens to Peloton. The intention for giving to the Athenians during a revolution, they had a coup d'etat. It was almost at the end of the Peloponnesian War. They gave thanks because the Archelos gave them permission to cut wood for Macedonia, and he gave them also something that they can cut the wood, probably axes. The word they use is kopes, or kopto, like that. That's the word they use at the end, actually. So you can see the African alphabet did not match the language. This is what it looks like, the whole description. This is the grave they found this algorithms. And as I said, it's the grade number 18. Because the group, because like I said, start from the north, as you went from the north to south, and I can see by the way, I was there last year. And this grade is around 410 to 470. That was the group of graves they found. Personally, I gave the catalog around 408 BC, and I have reasons for it. And there I differ from Joseph O'Neill, I believe, of University here in the study. Because the same was Akamaki school, the first who actually done this. He put it about 700 level, 407, something like that. I believe it's, 370, I believe it's 408. And they read one of them is the zagging, because zagging was not used in the 4th century. And it was used only by the end of the 4th century, zagging was gone. This is the text in Greek, the text of this spell. The name of the woman is Septima, the woman who passed it, we don't know the woman's name that passed this spell. But we do know she wanted to break up the demon and Leon's forces. The demon is a modern Greek, actually Antican Greek for Theotimi, honor of God. This is very, very Doric. And it has some other characteristics. I'm not going to go into details because we're getting into details, grammatical, etymological, and all this. And most of you don't probably understand etymology, Greek etymology. So I'm not going to go into details, but if somebody wants to ask a question at the end, I'll be more than happy. Also, I have very limited time because I had 2 subjects, and I have only 15 minutes or so to play with. This is what it looks like, as you saw. It is not small. You can see the measurements here. So you get an idea. This Cathalicos is the only text we have today written by a common person, not by kings and queens and anything like that. This is a very, very basic language. And the characteristics of the Northwestern Doric is that instead of eta, we have alpha. The same thing is true for the Aeolian dialect. And instead of Ginecon Parthenon, instead of Ginecan Parthenon, we have Ginecon Parthenon and so on. And they differ. In this, I differ with Dr. Akamatis because he thought it should be Ginecan Parthenon, but grammatically speaking, makes no sense. Because the nominative is Gina, but the declension changes to the third declension. That means it nullifies the first. Now I'm getting into individual here, but it's the same thing with the name from Se, when it becomes Se, when it becomes Ko, and so on. What one can see is the philosophy. In Greek we have the as we call it, it's a spirit of Asper, it's called, that now we don't use it anymore, but it was there, and you need it in order to combine words. You have to know when it's going to be up or theta or something like that. So, and the pre-vocalic gamma here, and this sign exists to give this actor. But we don't see that here. These words are supposed to have that, one of these signs, they don't have any. That automatically tells us it is Doric. It is not Attic or anything like that, besides everything else. And then we have the difference, the dialectal interchange of when, up, or if, egg, and octative move in conditional. So all these things tell us that the dialect was Doric, Northwestern Doric, just like the Molosians we had in Epirus. Because Afro-Macedonians were Molosians, like, Epirotan tribes, and you can find that in Strabo. The lower Macedonians were Aeolians, like the Thessalians. And that's why if you read Hoffman, it tells you that the language is like the Thessalian language. And I agree because that's how it is. My contribution to this is this. They had, I added the emails, the emails was there, but they didn't have anything here. So I added mites or miles. Since it is Doric, probably was mites, meaning nobody. And it was written like this, and in Melodian.